from our heart, living from our core, living from our power, we all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alignment Summit. I'm Sue Erta. I'm your host for this event, and I'm just thrilled. I keep saying it over and over. I'm thrilled and grateful and honored to be able to introduce these incredible women to you who are both extraordinary and ordinary all at the same time. They're like each of us, and we're all the same. We're all in this together, and they're awesome. And I'm so happy to introduce them to you because they have these amazing stories to share. And they're talking in this specific summit about living in alignment in some way. And today I know our guest, Dr. Sharon Montes, is going to be talking about resilience. And certainly now after 2020 and COVID and all the things that have happened, it's a perfect topic. So I'm excited to hear from Sharon. She's going to shine some light on that for us. And first I'm going to introduce you to her. And so then we'll get started talking with her. Dr. Sharon Montes is an internationally recognized pioneer in the field of integrative health and holistic medicine. In her more than 37 years of clinical experience, she has served as medical director for prestigious healthcare facilities such as the University of Maryland Center for Integrative Medicine, University of Colorado Rose and A.F. Williams Family Medicine Centers, and North Texas area Arlington Community Health Center. Committed to helping community leaders and compassionate warriors stay healthy, Dr. Montes continues to share her expertise as a lecturer, course director, and in radio and TV interviews. Her current passion and purpose are focused on offering living well resilience coaching to help people live with greater health, happiness, and efficiency. And Sharon, I'm so happy to welcome you today. How are you?
Thank you, Sue. Doing phenomenally well. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. And I do love this topic because I feel like it is so important. Your title for your interview is Resilience: How to Heal Yourself from the Inside Out. And truly, that's how all healing happens. So, that's beautiful and I love it. Let's get started by explaining to our audience and talking about what does resilience mean and why is it important?
In my world, resilience is people's capacity to bounce back from challenging life experiences and to also bounce forward in order to meet the adventures that life offers us. There are three types of resilience. One is natural, that which we're born with. Some people innately have a greater reserves. The other is adaptive. So as we go through life, we build our resilience muscles. This is not a choice. So during COVID, I had to look at what was working, get rid of what wasn't working, and upgrade or get new stuff. So the idea is adapting to what was going on. And that then leads to the third kind, which is built. This is through intentional choice. We rewire, we build our reserves so that we can intentionally choose as to recover from or to go into life with greater joy.
Awesome. So resilience, I like I said, I feel like it's super important. And you have a passion around this issue of resilience, obviously. Tell me why.
Life offers us many challenges, and I've spent 30 years listening to the challenges that people have met. And when we learn and claim our capacity to change from the inside out and recognize that we do have choice, one moment at a time, one thought at a time, one breath at a time, it increases our capacity to lead happy, healthy, efficient lives.
Yep, absolutely. So Sharon, you have been in this practicing business, practicing medicine of holistic medicine for 30 years. And you've worked with thousands of patients. You've worked with lots of people of all different ages, sensitivities, medical conditions, and used many different practices and modalities. Tell us, what principles have you found that are most useful for helping people to heal?
Thank you, Sue. And I think the key word is practicing. Even after all these thousands of hours and these decades, medicine is an art and a science. And so I keep practicing with the goal to be of greater service and help people get better. So let's play with it as a practice. And over the last 30 years, I think there's some general principles that have been fairly consistent. One is I really work and hold the intention of returning sovereignty to the people I'm working with. That sometimes people will come in with bagfuls of supplements or with the expectation that I have something magic, that I am the source of their healing. So the joy of returning sovereignty to people, their body, their healing, and I'm a helper. In terms of helping, what I love to do is restore balance through life. And the balance is taking away the toxic stuff. So that can be thoughts, it can be chemicals, it can be mold. The idea is identifying which toxins the body is willing to heal from at that moment. And the other is nourishing. So if we add good stuff, what is the support people need for energy, or what are the supports they need in order to complete their journey? So it really centers around helping people restore balance, because that's when they heal. The third principle is the body speaks energy. It doesn't speak words. So in this country, we really value words. And so what I help people do is learn to touch the body wisdom. So in my clinical practice, I will use energy practices, whether it's a pulse diagnosis, whether it's electrodermal testing, whether it's sound, whether it's light, to both support the diagnosis and the healing. And that it's really been fun over the last 30 years to see how that's becoming woven into our regular culture. So it's not as foreign or scary for people. And I guess the last principle that's been with me all my life is that our growth and learning and healing are a constant evolution, that being accepting that I'm on an infinite journey of growth and healing and learning brings me peace. It's like, okay, this is just reality. I think specifics in terms of how I apply those principles are my personal favorite ways of restoring balance are through lifestyle practices. And I really focus on supporting people's endocannabinoid system, because that's our major regulatory system, and their vagus nerve, because at our mammal body, that vagus nerve is what allows us to rest, to restore, to repair. I also weave into what I offer people lots of focus on intentional breathing. Breathing is this amazing bridge between our mind and our body. Through consciously changing our breathing, we can affect physical health, we can affect mental health. So to me, breathing well and consistently well is super important. And then the last thing that's evolved over the last 3 years as a result of COVID is encouraging people I work to participate in the Living Well Resilience program, because it works.
Great. Yeah, we're going to talk about that next. I want to ask you a question about the sovereignty that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Ideally, that would be great. Like we all recognize, because we all have this innate healing ability for our own bodies. Our bodies have amazing wisdom. But a lot of people in our culture, as you said, we're into words, but we also just want pills. People say, give me something to make me better. You
Right.
do this for me. How do you do that? Because that has to be a shift in their mindset, right?
It does. And so as I become clearer about who I want to attract, I'm attracting less people that are putting their power in pills. I remember in 1990, a woman brought in a grocery bag full of vitamins. And she didn't know what she was taking, why she was taking, or the effects in her body. And yes, I do use supplements. And there is something about taking a pill because we digest it. It goes to our gut, which is our cauldron of where our immune system, our hormones, our nervous system. So there is something about pills but there's got to be an alignment. Is I'm taking this because of this reason, and I'm focused on it. And what I would have people do, honestly, is I'd have people pray over whatever, set the intention so that the chemistry in those pills were healing for them. So you're right, there is wanting a pill, and because it's easy, and it doesn't require me to actually change a whole lot. But if we use pills as a bridge to get people back to their true north, then the idea is, you know, redefining the value of the pill and why the relationship with it.
Yeah, wonderful. I like that. And another thing you mentioned was breathing. Do you have a favorite breathing technique that's easy that you can just teach our listeners quickly?
Really depends on the person, and at the beginning level, I just ask people to focus on 12 breaths. Just focus. And what happens is most people lose focus after about 3 breaths. So the idea of is they can take a focus, and I actually, to help, I use my fingertips. You know, I'm in my body with it. Then what we do is we use apps that are free to prolong the expiration. When we breathe in for 3, out for 6, we are activating our vagus nerve. So we're already, through changing the pattern, creating electrochemical pathways that help us relax. Then the third piece was if we can slow down our breathing to 10 seconds so that we get a rate of about 6 per minute, that does a lot of really cool things to the dance between our nervous system and our heart rate and our breathing, and things come into resonance. So that's called resonant breathing. So those would be 3, count it, get an exhale longer than an inhale, and then slow the whole thing down. And when we do that enough, we can change our physiology so it becomes subconscious. And we're coming from a platform of more relaxation and center through our breath.
Love it. Love it. I've been doing a lot of breath work of my own lately, and it really is beautiful. It's really, it feels so, I feel so much better when I really take the time to do that, remind myself, you know, especially if I'm going through something stressful or if somebody is putting something on me, it feels like, wait a second, I got to breathe here. And it really makes a huge difference.
It really does. Thanks. And I remember decades ago, I was working in community hospitals and working with stressed out single moms. And the idea is integrative medicine doesn't have to be expensive. Our breath is always accessible. Yes. And it's a major way of, that goes back to sovereignty. I can choose to breathe slowly.
Yeah, love it. Love it, love it. So Sharon, let's talk about your program now. It's called Living Well, Build Your Resilience. So what is that? Can you explain it to us? I understand it's fabulous.
It is. It evolved out of my own stress management resilience building that needed to upboot in 2020. So the idea is it's an 8-week program. And there's a standardization in terms of the classes people get, in terms of a phone-based app, so that they are supported in implementing the program. And it's a lot of body, mind, positive psychology, neuroscience. And then what we do at Living Well is we add nutritional supplements that I know help rebuild nervous system connections. So if my goal is to help people rewire their nervous system, come to a new norm, there's nutritional supplements, then there's weekly group coaching, there's some individual coaching. So the program is individualized to best meet the needs of the person that I'm working with. And it, as I said, it's a foundational 8-week program that we then modify to support people's highest good.
Wow, sounds wonderful. So the people that have been working, you've been working within this program, what have some of their results been?
I think overall, some general is, although people participate this in for personal growth, personal resilience, personal stress management, personal dealing with challenges of life, everyone has found positive changes in the relationship with the outside world. So whether it's marriage, whether it's work, whether it's parenting, whether it's just health, there's benefits outside. And so that's overview. And specifics, I was really, really blessed to have the opportunity to offer this program to a group of nurses and managers within a healthcare system last year. Post-COVID, management offered this to their employees. And one particularly fierce, caring nurse signed up because she kind of wanted to help implement it in management, and she had some personal stress stuff. And one of her biggest takeaways was, one, she could find time during a busy day to actually do this. So a lot of healthcare providers, they hit the ground running, and they frequently don't take bathroom breaks, eating breaks, breathing breaks during a 12-hour shift. So she learned she could do it. She could pause. The other thing she learned is it really helped her in her parenting with 2 adolescent teenage daughters. So as she was coming up with the summary, it was not what she intended. It was one of the things she enjoyed. The other thing that I've heard from people, managers, leaders, is that it really improves the efficacy of other self-growth that happen. So a lot of leaders are constantly looking at how they can do better. And because this is a foundational orientation operating system program, it can be woven in and applied to other growth things that people are doing. And then the third was kind of a type A fierce community leader. And she was really impressed that it helped her marriage, and she was able to get along with the board members. That by recognizing that when she was in the negative part of her brain, and this program is called the saboteur, she was creating a resonance for other people to operate from that. When she was able to quickly switch to the positive part, she was able to generate a whole lot more effective communication with the co-leaders of the organization she was involved in. So those are some of the people who come to mind that I've been able to celebrate their learning. So
that's great. And so that's what happens, right? Once we align any part of our body, our mind, our spirit, all of that, it affects every part of our lives. And that's really the beauty of it. So there are unexpected gifts all the way around. So I love that. And I think for corporations or, the hospital staff or something, that's something for people to think about, because if they can take care of their staff at work, but it helps them with their personal lives. And of course, then that eases everything and the stress levels go down and people get along better and cooperate easier with other people. So I think it's a beautiful thing all the way around.
Yeah. And that's why I'm committed to this, is I just keep hearing. And because it's 8 weeks, and because there are daily guided intentional practices, it's 15 minutes a day, people rewire their nervous system. And so there's a new level of normal, there's a naming that people are able to operate from. So, and I've done a lot of coaching programs that are kind of like, oh yeah, that was really nice. That was inspiring. That didn't lead to permanent change. So I'm really committed to offering something that leads to a permanent change at the physical level, which in turn allows the mental a better platform.
Beautiful. I love it. Yep. Creating those patterns and habits for people to live onward with. Great. So, for your program, are there any kind of barriers for people entering the program?
I think for all of us as souls and mammal bodies, our mammal body is wired to resist change. And so the first thing is just to acknowledge I am built to conserve resources and I'm going to resist change. The second is time and money. People in all things are going to say time and money. From my point of view, having seen people invest time and money in a program that's going to be effective at producing positive change for years, that is theirs. I will trust that people will know whether this is the right time, the right program. And in anything, we're going to say, well, do I want to commit the resources? So I'm going to trust that people have the innate wisdom, the inner GPS, and that I do my best to facilitate and make it easy once they're in. So there's our instinct, there's our mind, and then there's the commitment as souls to continue to low that tension, learn, grow, and evolve. So our higher self always helps provide the resources to overcome any barriers. I think
Beautiful.
that's resilience, right?
That's absolutely resilience. No question about it. Wonderful. So Sharon, I know you have a gift for our listeners. Would you tell us about it and how they can receive that?
Yes. So it is a handout that distills, it's a fun consolidation of my over 30 years of meditation, body, mind, health and spirituality practices. And it's called Build Your Resilience with 5 Fingertips. And so the idea is we always have this digital technology. They're free, they're always accessible. And so this handout helps people use their digital technology anytime, anywhere. So you can kind of do it when you're in a meeting with someone, you can do it when you're walking. So it's a handout that summarizes and distills the pearls to make it easy to build your resilience with your 5 fingertips.
Awesome. I love that. Wonderful. Well, Sharon, thank you so much. Do you have any final words for our listeners that you might not have gotten a chance to say today?
I think to make it easy, if they could use their 5 fingertips to go to my website, it's www.livingwellwholehealth. So livingwellwholehealth.com/PQ. So they can enter their name and their email, and the handout is yours for life. So
awesome. Wonderful. Well, Sharon, thank you so much. I so appreciate you today and the information you shared with us about resilience. I think that you've given us some things that we can use right away. I hope some people will reach out to you for your gift and also for signing up for your program. That would be awesome. And I appreciate you being a part of this book as well, Sharon, this Women Living in Alignment book, which shares stories with 20 co-authors. One of them is yours. And you're just a joy and you have so much to share. Obviously, you have 30 years of experience and your heart and soul is obviously in it. So thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate you.
And I appreciate you and your commitment and purpose to create these anthologies consistently over the years, providing people a place to focus their voice, and the group, the power of the group and supporting each other is super important. You're creating community with each of your books. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sharon. I appreciate that. Yes, the collaboration and community is beautiful. And listeners, thank you for being here. Thank you for paying attention to your own life and wanting to get more in alignment with your own truth and your soul purpose and going there for yourself. So we appreciate you listening to the summit. We would love if you buy this book on launch day for you, because you will love these stories in this book because they're so inspiring, so empowering, and it shows us resilience of all the women that are in this book. So the launch day is November 2nd. We're having a 99-cent Kindle promotion on that day. So if you're into Kindle, that's the perfect day to buy it. It'll be great. And enjoy that. You go to our website, womenlivinginalignment.com, and you'll be able to get directed to your Amazon page for whatever country you're in. And we appreciate you. Thank you for being you, and thank you for showing up. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.